My best friend's betrayal, a Reddit nightmare turned reality. The tremors started subtly. A creeping unease that I couldn't quite place. Now, looking back, I realize it was my intuition screaming at me, warning me of the impending explosion that would shatter my friendship and send shockwaves through everything I thought I knew. Olivia and I, an unlikely pair, had been inseparable since that sweltering summer before college. She, the dazzling social butterfly. Me, the quiet observer, content to lose myself in books. Yet, somehow, our contrasting personalities meshed perfectly, creating a bond I foolishly believed was unbreakable. Living together since sophomore year only solidified our connection, despite the occasional late-night drama from Olivia's revolving door of dates. Then there was Nathan, from my major. He and Olivia started dating halfway through her freshman year. I ended up becoming good friends with Nathan because we were in the same major. He was charming and a sweetheart. The first crack in the foundation appeared early in their relationship. Olivia, in one of her candid moments, admitted she felt suffocated, bored. They broke up. What followed could only be described as a self-destructive spiral. Olivia was skipping class, partying every night, bringing home a string of random guys, while poor Nathan was left picking up the pieces of his broken heart. I kept Olivia's escapades from him, convinced I was doing him a favor by shielding him from further pain. After a semester of recklessness, Olivia eventually cooled down and rekindled their relationship by the start of junior year. This toxic cycle continued for 6 years. Every time, Olivia would get bored, break up with Nathan, go wild for a bit and casually date. After a while, Olivia would get bored and come crawling back to Nathan, and they would get back together. I loved Olivia like a sister, but this infuriated me, and I never understood why he went back to her. But all I could do was be there for them. Or so I thought. Then, early last year, something shifted. Olivia claimed to have outgrown her need for wild abandon. I was happy to hear this because Nathan had confided in me that despite having other girlfriends, while he and Olivia were split, he still loved her. They seemed different this time. Olivia was more subdued and took special care to be sensitive to Nathan's feelings. And Nathan took care to give Olivia her space. It felt like a turning point, a chance for them to finally build something lasting. I went on a weekend trip with my boyfriend, which ended when he had to head back to work. I came home early but was too tired and disappointed after my trip was cancelled to tell her I was coming back. She came back from wherever she was and fell asleep. I worked at some ungodly art so I just went to sleep. I woke up to certain noises between Olivia and who I presumed at the time to be Nathan. In the kitchen at around 10 o'clock a.m., I was making coffee and breakfast. As I was going to make a lame joke at Nathan, I saw that it wasn't him. He seemed embarrassed and hurried into the bedroom. That's when Olivia dropped the bomb. She and Nathan were in an open relationship. My blood ran cold. Nathan. Open relationship. Impossible. He'd never mentioned anything to me, and it was so out of character for him. I called her a liar, and with such conviction that I think even she believed it at the time. My gut screamed that something was terribly wrong. I saw Nathan a few times after that, but the words died in my throat. How could I ask him something so personal? How could I shatter the fragile peace they seemed to have found? Then, in the weeks leading up to Christmas, Olivia became withdrawn, secretive, refusing to tell me what was wrong. It all came crashing down the day after Christmas. She texted me out of the blue to say that I was going to have to find a new roommate, because she and Nathan were moving in together. I was happy for them, but surprised at how sudden it was. I was going to text Nathan to congratulate him when Olivia revealed to him that she was 6 to 8 weeks pregnant. I felt my heart sink. There was no way they were in an official open relationship. He had no idea about the redhead guy or any other guy she might have brought over. She was cheating on him. After my call with Nathan ended, I called Olivia and told her to meet me at our apartment ASAP. We met up on the 29th and got into what must have been 6 hours of screaming. At some point during the fight I said that I should tell Nathan about the redhead, but she refused and didn't want to spoil anything for him. I'm sure that's the reason. She told me that if I ratted her out to Nathan, I was an attention seeker trying to ruin a new family since I was having trouble with my boyfriend. She told me that I had no proof of the redhead guy, and she got so vicious and irrational, I had to leave and stay in a hotel for the night. At some point, she went back to Nathan's place, and he proposed on New Year's. I know it seems obvious what I should do, but I can't seem to summon the courage to tell Nathan. I've been holed up in my now lonely apartment, blowing through my vacation days trying to decide what to do. I've never seen Nathan so happy before. There's a chance that it isn't Nathan's baby. Olivia plans to try and completely destroy my and Nathan's friendship if the truth comes out. I know I want to tell him, but I'm unsure of how to do that without it backfiring. I'm meeting with him this Sunday to tell him. But Olivia doesn't know. Olivia is Korean. For the baby. I could anonymously tell Nathan to get a DNA test before the wedding, and he doesn't know about the pregnancy. I wish there was a way for me to contact Redhead Guy and let him tell Nathan, but I have no idea where to even start looking. If she tells Nathan about the encounter, I'll be recording because I want Nathan to know that I just wanted him to actually believe me. I may be his good friend and the soon-to-be mother of his child takes after all. Anyway, I made up my mind and thought about how I would approach the subject. I'm meeting with him on Sunday. Wish me luck. Last week I told Nathan to meet me on Sunday to discuss something urgent. He asked if we had a fight since she seemed mad at me. My stomach was nuts over the whole thing. So on Thursday I went out with some friends for drinks. I didn't tell them about the whole business with Nathan and Olivia since they are her friends. As well, as we were talking and drinking that night, Pab mentioned that she saw Olivia's new engaged status on Facebook, and how she was so excited about the wedding, and that Olivia had seemed so into Robert a while ago. Immediately after, she said that she seemed to realize that she had said something she shouldn't have. She revealed that Robert was Olivia's former co-worker from a coffee shop job. When I asked what Robert looked like, the first thing she said was he has red hair. I took her aside and told her that I needed to contact Robert as soon as possible. But she told me where he still worked. Or at least was working up until a few months ago. After some sleuthing around, I found that he still worked at the coffee shop. I was able to get in contact with Robert early Saturday and explain the situation to him. I told him that Olivia was pregnant, and that I wanted him to sit down with me when I told her fiancé Nathan. At first, he refused and almost slammed the door in my face. But I was able to convince him that Nathan wouldn't attack him or hold him responsible for the cheating. To Robert's credit, he didn't know Olivia was with Nathan at the time, and said that he would try to be a part of his child's life if he or she actually were his. She told him never to call her again. Anyway, on Sunday I met Nathan in my apartment with Robert. At first Nathan refused to believe us and said we were just trying to break him and Olivia up. There was some shouting involved and Nathan broke one of my chairs by throwing it. But he eventually believed me. He said he knew I wouldn't lie to him about something like this. She came to meet us at my apartment. Hysterical upon seeing Nathan was there too. She said we were trying to kill her and the baby by stressing her out and other absolutely mental BS. Nathan was surprisingly calm with her, and he took her back to his apartment to discuss their engagement and the baby. Nathan told me what happened between them. Olivia eventually fessed up and said that she was only with Nathan because he was stable and had a good job. He broke off the engagement and demanded a paternity test on the child. Olivia is obviously not capable of it. Olivia stormed out and claimed she was going to terminate the pregnancy. But whether or not she'll actually get one is currently unknown. Nathan plans to use up his vacation days to take a long break so he can mentally recoup. Story 2, Surrogate Sister Steals My Baby. Then there's my sister. Or rather, was my sister? Now, she's something else entirely, a nightmare. A thief. A destroyer of worlds. But I'm getting ahead of myself. It started with hope. A burning desire to create a family. My husband, James. And I learned I couldn't carry a baby. And my sister offered to be our surrogate so we could still have a biological child. She had divorced her husband over a year ago and was settling into single life, since it wasn't legal to pay for a surrogate in my country. We offered to cover all medical expenses and expenses. She gave birth to our daughter. And she's perfect and such a beautiful baby. I was getting ready to take her home until she denied it. She said I couldn't have my baby. I was really confused and asked what was wrong. What did she mean? She said she changed her mind and didn't want to give us our baby. I reminded her she wasn't biologically a parent to my daughter and reminded her of our agreement. She wouldn't let me hold my baby and made the nurse take me out. Since then I've been crying and really upset. Our parents are trying to get her to see sense and none of it made any sense to me, until James sat me down and showed me some texts. For the past few weeks, He had sent back a laughing emoji, but she carried on and propositioned him, asking if he was attracted to the woman carrying his baby. She sent some risky photos of her in lingerie, and he told her to stop because she wasn't his wife. I was going to play my last card, custody, by showing Tilly's written agreement, an understanding of our contract, and bring it to a judge. So I gave her an ultimatum. Give me my baby or I will take her to court to enforce the contract and get custody of my child. Our cousins have texted me saying I'm an awful person for pressuring a woman to give her baby up. But it's my baby, not hers. If I'm honest, it feels like emotional manipulation. She said she only did it so she could get the private healthcare. The holiday she's going on was paid by us. Anything she wanted during the pregnancy, like food, clothes, a Dyson hairdryer, we got her. Update 1. We have Tilly. 24 hours before we started the legal proceedings to give us our baby. I've been into work today to keep my mind busy as I was so nervous. And I work in a hospital. It's been so hard the past few days not having our daughter with us. I would imagine being able to spend the first few days of her life together as a family. When I got home from work, James told me that the maternity facility had been in contact to say my sister and our baby had been discharged. He didn't want to worry me when I was at work, and I've been trying to find them. But it only happened about an hour before I got home. But that it wasn't her fault she was attracted to the man whose baby she was carrying. But that she'd forgotten how much newborns cry and need to be fed, and said she wasn't the mother. She left quickly after that, after giving us the final legal paperwork. We put her down in her crib and fed her a bottle, and most importantly, we've had so many cuddles. We haven't really put her down, and I feel a bit scared to. Like she can be taken away again. Story 3, Jealousy Overload. I am in a whirlwind of insane. But hear me out. My husband is 39. And my younger half-sister, Leah, is 24. My husband and I met through work 5 years ago but didn't date right away. Leah herself had a failed engagement 1 year ago. Wearing my engagement ring. I am now 5 months pregnant with a baby girl. She wasn't planned. But she's a very welcome surprise. Lucas is so excited to be a girl dad, it's very cute. Ever since I announced my pregnancy, Leah has been acting very selfish with me. We're not close, or are at family gatherings. But she's been very touchy with Lucas. Doesn't really bother me. I'm secure in my marriage. We had a blended family event with both mom and dad's side, and we were discussing baby names. When Leah freaked out, she shouted out something to the effect of, "I want a husband and a baby." Not me. I was focused on getting a career. Later on, my dad and his wife said she shouldn't have shouted, but I was flaunting my marriage and pregnancy when I know she had a failed engagement. Then she legitimately asked if I would give Leah my baby. Like they weren't joking. They said it seriously. They said she deserved it more than me, as she wouldn't neglect being a mother for a career. Lucas was done and promptly got them out of our house. She could be a good stay-at-home mom while I'm just working. My mom and her side of the family are furious when we eloped, so I had to make it up to them. Lucas's family said I need to talk to her and that my mom doesn't get a say because they don't like her. I think this is all very insane. What's the actual issue? Edit, just to address some things, yes. Unfortunately, this is real and it happens often. Look up the case of Taylor. To those of you who have suggested moving. Update 3. Hi guys. Just wanted to give you all an update as you asked for. Obviously, I'm not actually asking if I should give Leah my baby. I was venting. Lucas and I are in Sweden right now on vacation. Have explored the possibility of moving here. He works for a Swedish company in the US anyway, so it would just be a case of moving. And my work is fluid. I can pick up a job in most countries. I've asked my mom if she would think about coming with. Leah is fuming apparently, and sulking and being an all-around awful person. Concluding questions for each story. After everything you've just heard, I'm left questioning everything. Did I handle the situation correctly? Should I have done things differently? I'm desperate to hear your thoughts, your advice, your perspective on this whole mess. I'm still trying to process everything, so any insight you can offer would be immensely appreciated.